Today on The Point TV.
That's their go-to thing, their quick fix. But that quick fix is actually going to make things a lot worse for you.
Be walking with lions as I was in Johannesburg 4 weeks ago. I could be having a 90-minute sunrise massage in the ocean, and so I have the privilege of getting paid to go on holidays and travel the world.
Well, I had this calling a few years ago, and I just knew I had to come here and to start this Healing Castle Australia.
All this and more on The Point TV.
Hi, I'm Amita Gangaram.
I'm Chrissy Thompson. And I'm Bethelaine Haynes.
Nutritional debt can affect your moods, cause you to gain weight, and result in digestive issues. In a society where food is in abundance, how have we then created a state of nutritional debt? Tonight we will explore the 5 warning signs of nutritional debt, how it might be impacting your life, and how you can take action right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm here with Emma tonight, and I wanted to share with you how you can find out if you are in nutritional debt. So,
that's interesting. Nutritional debt. I'm curious.
You're curious.
What is nutritional debt, Amita?
Great question, Emma. So nutritional debt is when your body has actually become deficient in nutrients because you haven't been eating the right foods or even supplementing correctly. So if you think of your body as your favorite car that you love to drive, but you keep driving this car and you forget to fill it up with fuel, there's going to become a time where your car is going to break down and you're going to get stuck along the way, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I was to be in nutritional debt, what would be some of the signs? How would I know?
Okay, so there are 5 warning signs to be aware of. And if you think of the acronym SEARS, S-E-A-R-S, the first one is stress. And I think in today's world, this is such an important one to be aware of, where our lifestyles have created such a level of stress. We're on the go from the time that we wake up, taking kids to school, running around, being involved in our business, and then still coming home, preparing meals, doing the washing, and all those things, 101 things that we've got in the day.
I totally agree with that. It does feel like we've got our foot on the gas all day, every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so many of my clients come in and say that exact thing, that we've got our foot on the gas all the time and they don't know how to stop and stop that feeling of being overwhelmed all the time. The second important warning sign to be aware of is a lack of energy. So this could be either a lack of energy from the time that you wake up, or it could be a lack of energy later on in the day, especially in the afternoon or early evening.
I can definitely say I'm the afternoon one. So around 3 o'clock, a coffee and a chocolate is my go-to.
And there will be hundreds of people nodding their heads right now that would agree with you that that's their go-to thing, their quick fix. But that quick fix is actually going to make things a lot worse for you. Your energy will become worse through the evening, and you'll find if you keep doing that, nutritionally, you're making things worse for your body as well. So the next sign to be aware of is a lack of appetite.
I don't have that one. I'm always good to go.
Yeah.
Always good to eat.
And I'm so glad to hear that. You know, it is so important that we're eating regularly through the day because that's where the nutrition is going to come from. So good on you for doing that. The next sign to be aware of is difficulty rising in the morning, where you just feel unmotivated, like you need a couple of extra hours of sleep.
I'd say from time to time, not always. Maybe towards the end of the week that might be, I would rather stay in bed than get up, but mostly I'm okay with that one.
Okay,
Mostly.
well that's good. Look, a lot of people do feel that their energy levels in the morning really are low and they really do struggle to get out of bed in the mornings. The last sign to be aware of is sleep disturbances. So this is two things. Either that you get into bed and you just can't fall asleep, or that you wake up constantly through the night and again struggle to fall back to sleep again.
I'd probably say falling asleep at night, sometimes the mind is going.
Yeah.
So that, sort of connects into the stress. Sometimes I'm having a bit of a review of the day or worrying about tomorrow, what I need to do.
Exactly.
So,
and
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, even myself.
Yeah.
There are days where you've got a lot on your mind and your mind feels wired when you go to bed, even though your body is so tired. So that lack of sleep or those sleep disturbances are really important to address, because they'll affect all the other warning signs that we talked about as well.
And put you in nutritional debt.
Exactly, exactly.
Although I don't have all of those signs,
Yep.
I do have some of them.
Yes.
So would you say I'm in nutritional debt?
Yes, you could even have one of those signs and it would indicate a certain level of nutritional debt occurring in your body.
So if I was to do something to become nutritionally wealthy,
Yes?
what could I do?
So, to create nutritional wealth in your body, there's a lot that you can do with your diet and through supplements. One thing that I really love using with my clients is a formula called the Zest Super Cleanse. So this formula is packed with nutrients such as spirulina, barley grass, glutamine, and all those nutrients that are really going to start helping you to feel energized from the time that you wake up, and also start improving the quality of your sleep as well.
So if I started to take that, would I notice some benefits relatively soon?
Absolutely. Actually, I was just speaking to one of my clients on my way in tonight, and she told me that she's been on it for 1 week, and she's already noticed that she's waking up feeling so much better, like she's ready for the day. And she told me that her clothes are already fitting better. So that's always a bonus.
So there's going to be a rise in energy. So energy,
Absolutely.
rise in energy,
Rise in energy,
possible weight loss.
possible weight loss, which is
Yay.
always a bonus, and also feeling that you're rested when you're sleeping as well. And that if there are problems with your appetite, that starts to be regulated through the day as well.
Now, I'm a woman of ease, no fuss,
Yep.
no fluffing around.
Yes.
So how and when would I take this?
The best time to take that formula is when you go to bed, so that it does that healing and the repairing while you're sleeping. So that's really important. I always recommend my clients to take it last thing at night.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is it a maintenance thing that I would continue taking?
No, you don't need to be on it for long. It is something I usually recommend for between 3 and 6 weeks, depending on what's happening with you. Yeah. So it is a brilliant formula and it works really well. And, if you're out there and you're trying to find out more information or need some help, you can log on to our website, which is zesthealthcenter.com.au, and find out lots more information that is there to get you back on track and start feeling healthier and happier as well, which I think is really important. And there's, as I said, those tips are think of the acronym SEERS every time we're thinking if you are nutritionally in debt. So you've been watching The Point TV, and we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome to The Point TV, Kim. It's so great to have you here tonight.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
So MIHQ, the Make It Happen Queen. What does the Make It Happen Queen look like?
Well, it's an interesting question, Chris, because when I was at school and in college, all my friends went off to university to get degrees. And, when they finished their degree, they would have, all these letters and acronyms after their name. When they send an email, as an example, they'd have MBA or CPA. And I was like, I'm just boring Kim Burke. Like, I don't have any of these letters. So I asked myself the question, I said, who is Kim Burke? And growing up, I had a little personality profile that I used to call myself. I used to call myself the Make It Happen Queen. So I was like, you know what? That's me. So I decided to add the letters after my name, MIHQ. And so people, when they emailed me, they would say, wow, what's that degree? And I would say, It's the Make It Happen Queen, baby.
I love it. Get those Make It Happen shoes on.
That's right.
And make it happen. That's awesome. So you call yourself a full-time tourist.
Yes.
What does the life of a full-time tourist look like?
Yeah, you know, it's an ever-changing environment on a daily basis. And so, you know, I could be swimming with the dolphins. I could be walking with lions, as I was in Johannesburg 4 weeks ago. I could be having a 90-minute sunrise massage in the ocean. And so I have the privilege of getting paid to go on holidays and travel the world.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So ticking off your bucket list items is a priority?
Yes, definitely.
So what would be the most life-changing bucket list item that you have ticked off so far?
Yes, this is a very unique one.
Tell us about it.
It was an experience in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas for the weekend, and I was fortunate to be attending a Keith Urban concert. And out of 20,000 people in the crowd, Keith pulled me out of the stage and brought me up on stage with him. So,
wow. So
yeah.
you're a huge Keith Urban fan.
I am.
Why is that, Kim?
Well, you know, other than he's easy on the eye,
Which he is.
he plays the chords off a guitar. He has some amazing songs. That's not actually my reason for being intrigued with Keith Urban. My reason for being intrigued with him is the man behind the music. You know, if you look at Keith's story, you'll see that for 20 years he faced rejection and adversity. You know, people told him, you can't sing, go home, you'll never make it. And Keith has a saying that says, if it's a real dream, there is no plan B. And so for him, he stayed committed to his dreams, goals and aspirations, even through pushing through an alcohol addiction, a drug addiction. And so my interest in Keith is looking at his mindset that got him through 20 years worth of rejection and adversity. Because most people in life today, Chris, they quit 2 millimeters before they're about to hit their success. So that's really my interest and intrigue in Keith Urban.
That's an extraordinary life to be interested in, and the adversities that he has overcome.
Yes.
So your dreams, your goals, your aspirations all involve helping other people?
Yes.
And travelling the world and seeing new places?
Correct. You know, my mission in life obviously is to live full-time, because unfortunately most people work full-time and they don't get to experience a full life. So, yeah, thank you. And so my number one mission in life is to create 1 million extraordinaires. And the term extraordinaires is a word that I just created myself, which is a combination of extraordinary people who are highly evolved and personally developed. And they're also financially free, because today, as you know, in our society, money's a little bit like oxygen. You know, you need it to survive. So that's ultimately my mission.
What an extraordinary thing to be aspiring to. That's amazing, Kim. Like, you know, I take my hat off to you, and I would just love to be one of those extraordinaires that you're talking about right now. So you're obviously well-travelled. You have a lot of experience around the world. What would be your most favourite place in the world that you've seen so far?
Definitely Florence in Italy is very close to my heart. You know, the ambience there, the people, the culture, the food. I happened to be there when the International Gelato Festival was on. And so the fashion, you know, just the geography, and of course they have the most exquisite wine in that region as well. So definitely Florence in Italy.
I'm a little bit of a sucker for wine, so I'll have to pop that one on my bucket list, that's for sure. So Kim, everybody has the big plane experiences when they travel the world.
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you what your worst plane experience is. I'm going to ask you what your best plane experience is. What would that be?
Well, this one's also a very unique experience. I met a gentleman in a country, and funnily enough, we had just a quick conversation, and then he showed up at the airport to check in on the same flight as I was, and I was flying from country A to country B. And I boarded the plane, you know, he said g'day in the line, and I boarded the plane. I sat down in my seat and then realised that he was a couple of seats away from me. Within minutes of sitting down, the air hostess actually came up to me and said, would you mind moving from this seat to 2 or 3 rows back? And I said, sure, no problems. So again, within minutes, I was sitting there, and this gentleman walked up and said, oh, looks like I'm sitting beside you. And I was like, oh, isn't that a coincidence? And he said, well, we're going to be on the plane for 10 hours together. We should go on our first date. And I was like, wow.
Cheeky.
First date on a plane. I said, how do you suggest we do that? And he said, well, why don't we start by going to the movies? And I said, well,
Interesting.
I said, well, normally
Please
when I go to
tell.
the movies, I have popcorn. So he stood up, and out of the overhead locker, he pulled out 2 bags of popcorn. And I said, well, normally when I have popcorn, I have ice cream too. So he pushed the button and called the air hostess, and he managed to negotiate a deal with her where she went to business class and she came back with 2 tubs of ice cream. So that was my first experience of a 10-hour date on a plane.
Sounds like it was a little bit planned. So, Kim,
Yes.
where to next?
Well, actually, in 24 hours, I'm off to LA, and then I'm going to tick another item off my bucket list in Nashville, in Tennessee. So look out, Nashville, here we come. And then I'm heading over to the #1 place on my bucket list, which is Greece. I'm going to Greece for 2.5 weeks.
What an amazing woman you are, and what an inspiration you are to other people.
Thank you.
So there you go. There's a sneak peek into the life of Kim Burke, entrepreneur, businesswoman, and full-time tourist. If you'd like to know more about Kim, just pop onto the website on the screen below and see how you too can tick off items on your bucket list. Thanks for joining us.
Well done, you.
Welcome, Brigitte. Thank you so much for joining me here at The Point TV.
Thank you for inviting me, Beth. I feel so honored that I have got the opportunity today here to share my vision with the world. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Your vision of a global healing castle Australia is, to me, just a joy to hear that. My first question to you is, why Australia?
Well, Beth, I have had a long and strong connection to Australia because I married an Australian and our 4 children are Australians, and soon I will be Australian myself, so I'm very excited about that.
So there's a lot to celebrate in your connection, and now you're becoming an Australian citizen.
Yes.
So I'm very happy for you. What guided you to come to Australia and bring this vision of yours to our country?
Well, I had this calling a few years ago, and I just knew I had to come here and to start this healing castle Australia. And so in 2012 I announced to my husband that we needed to move from Germany to Australia because I just knew I want to start this healing castle here and to bring world-leading experts in the field of energy healing together to really provide healing opportunities on a global scale.
So this was a vision, Birgit, that you weren't able to let go of.
I can't let go of it now.
No. So, to be able to shift your whole family from your at home, you had your home established, everything there, to come back to Australia to bring this into fruition is a massive task, and we're so very, very pleased that you've come to our beautiful country to do that. So the founding part of your vision, that was through your own experience?
Yes, it was when 2 of our children were chronically sick at the same time. So that caused a lot of suffering and desperation. And medical experts were telling me at that time they didn't have a cure for my children. And you know, as a mother, you get really desperate and you just want to see your children well. So from my heart, I knew there had to be another way. There had to be a cure for my children. And then I learned about new homeopathy, which is information medicine. And my children were very lucky. They could be healed within about 6 weeks.
That's amazing.
Yes.
6 weeks to go from a chronic illness to being cured.
Yeah.
And to this day, are your children still cured of those illnesses that they had?
Yes, it went away completely. And as I said, the doctor diagnosed as chronically sick basically forever.
Okay, so that was going to be a lifelong affliction for them.
It would have been,
It would have been, past tense, hey. So you're now a qualified healer in this modality, new homeopathy?
Yes, I'm a new homeopathy healer now and a Reiki master teacher. And Yeah, first I helped my children and I learned more about it, and then I helped my extended family and my friends, and the circle of people I could help was growing, and then I got these awards for these successful results, and then I decided I better make this my profession to help more people.
So this just isn't a vision, this is the totality of who you are. This is, you know, what you want to practice for the rest of your life. And you're also offering at the Global Healing Castle Australia the opportunity for practitioners from all around the world to come and gather. And also you're offering teaching, you'll be offering teaching there as well.
Yes, at the Healing Castle Australia, I really see it as a place of hope and support, where world-leading experts in the field of energy healing come together to really provide hope and healing on a global scale.
When there's no other avenue of help, when you've got a critically ill child or yourself are suffering from a critical illness, to be able to have the opportunity of hope through energy healing that you will be offering at this amazing facility is just, will just give so much to so many people. And you've also have a company going, which is the Heavenly Help for Kids company.
That's right. That's a not-for-profit company, and I had to birth this because I felt this desperation and the financial hardship that caused that illness can cause in a family. So I started this company to raise funds to support the families and to pay for their kids' treatments. And the unique service we offer within the Heavenly Help for Kids is that parents can set up their own accounts within the charity to raise funds for their kids' treatments.
So this is lived experience for you too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no greater need than to help your children be whole. Yeah. And you offer, the facility is not just for children, it's for men, women and children.
Yes.
But the Heavenly Help for Kids company is to raise funds to give children complimentary healings.
That's right. Yeah, the Heavenly Help for Kids is to pay for the treatments for children, but the Healing Castle Australia treats, of course, both children and adults.
So what's the uniqueness that the Global Healing Castle Australia is offering?
Well, we offer basically the next generation healing with the energy healing and the information medicine.
So we're stepping into a new arena through what you're going to be providing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That's my vision, yes. And I need a lot of support, obviously.
Yeah. So in closing, I'd like to thank Birgit for joining us here at the Point TV today. And you would have heard through her story that there are many ways that you will be able to participate in contributing to this amazing Global Healing Castle through donations, through participation as a client, and also through becoming a student at the school. So thank you very much, Birgit.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure.